North Carolina's home for real arts, real lineage, real training. This is Jason here at RMAA. I originally had something else planned this week where I was going to talk about, some sort of training principles and stuff. But sometimes you just get a gift that keeps on giving. I had a guy call me, and he actually called me a few months back, and he was the inspiration for my No Resumes Please video. He'd probably been about the fifth guy that called me that week to tell me about how great he was, and that he wasn't, really interested in taking classes. He just wanted to let me know he was in the area or something, I don't know, whatever floats people's boats. But anyway, this guy calls me again today. He doesn't realize he'd called me a few months ago, so he starts asking me some questions, and I tell him, hey, it's the same, answers are the exact same as when we spoke last time. So he realized he'd called me again, and I think he felt a little embarrassed. So he says, well, really, I remember you. You're the guy that trains in the garage, but I'm looking for a place that has weightlifting equipment. Now, this is great. This is a method people use to protect themselves. And what I mean is they make these plans to do things, and now it's like, I don't know, 4 months later, whatever, since the first time I talked to him, he still hasn't done anything. He's doing the rounds of calling and emailing people again. And he's basically self-sabotaging himself, but he sets it up to where it's not his fault, it's somebody else's fault. So he can't start the Kali class, say, with me because I don't have weightlifting equipment. Had I said yes, his next question would have probably been, well, do you have a Coke machine? If I said yes to that, he would have probably needed Raspberry Fanta to be in there. And if not, then, well, he couldn't come train. So that's not his failure to follow through on the plan. That's my failure because not having Raspberry Coke didn't coincide with his plan, or Raspberry Fanta, whatever. But anyway, what I'm saying is people use this as a defense mechanism, and it works great because you get to go through life where nothing's your fault for not following through on something. You were this great guy and you had these great plans, but this school didn't have the right color gi, or this school, they didn't have the kind of zebra match you like, so you couldn't train there. And I'm using this in the context of martial arts, but it goes with every facet of your life. Stop making plans and stop making stipulations. Start making changes. So what I mean is, instead of calling these schools every few months, and I'm telling you, man, I get people, I got one kid, he's called me like 20 times this year alone. I have a woman that she calls me every Christmas and during the summer on her husband's birthday for the last 3 years to set up a supposed appointment to get him back into martial arts, and they've never showed up in 3 years. What I mean is, stop making these kind of plans and start making changes. Instead of calling somebody or emailing them, actually go to the class. Force yourself to do something. You have to break your routine. It's great to make plans and sit around and dream about all this stuff, but until you actually make changes, nothing's going to happen. So force yourself to make a change. Show up to every Kali class in the city and check it out. That's your first change. Secondly, try it out. Maybe they have a trial period, a month or whatever. Some places you have to be careful about because, they don't even let you do that. It's like some crazy contract. But what I mean is, without actually changing your routine and making changes, plans mean nothing. Then make some decisions. Actually decide, are you going to do this or are you not? No more piddle-dicking around. Shit or get off the pot. I mean, simply that's it. Once you decide to do something, that's it. It doesn't matter about the weather. It doesn't matter about, did you get that extra shift at the restaurant? None of this matters. You're either doing it or you're not. And that's what most people don't realize. They make plans and they don't really want to follow through. They don't really want to make changes. And they're definitely not going to make any decisions. So what happens is they protect themselves by coming up with all these crazy stipulations onto why or why not they're not going to start something. And in this way, it's never their fault. It's always someone else's fault. So anyways, stop the plans, start making small changes, start making big decisions, and hopefully this will get you where you want to go. Take care, and I'll see you next week.